Metal Mixtape here on KSKQ 89.5 FM Ashland, Oregon, 94.1 FM Medford, Oregon. Stream online at kskqdjramo. We have Jesper and Bert from Phenom on the line. What is up, fellas?
What's going on?
Dude, I'm excited to talk to you guys, man. You guys,
we're excited to be here, man.
Dude, you guys have been one of my favorite bands in this whole Pacific Northwest, man, dude. Honestly, I think you guys are good enough right now to put like on a Vakken Fest or put on like a Supersonic in Japan, dude. You know what I mean? Like you guys kick ass, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate it. We are definitely ready for that.
Oh, and we want it too. We're like ever so desperate for it.
Oh yeah, dude. You know what? I swear, dude, because like I remember like I've seen you guys maybe live maybe like 13 or 14 times. And I remember the last time I saw you guys live, you know, me and my friend Derek, like you're one of those bands that like you could really rock out to, but you guys are so solid that you're fun just to watch too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like watching a tornado, and you're kind of like in awe. You know, you want to run away from it.
Hopefully, we're the better Twister part two.
Yeah, no, and I word for word, I remember me and my friend Derek, we were talking, we're like, is it me or is just Phenom like one of the most solid bands you've ever seen? Like they play so solid. Like do you guys just rehearse like crazy to play your music that good, man? Or are you guys just that talented?
It's a little bit of both, honestly.
Yeah, because like we try to get like at least a practice or two in a week. Yeah. Mostly we just get one in, but when we do, it's like a nice little regrouping, and we can all tell who didn't practice the most and who is absolutely tighter than just bro. It's
no, I love it, man. And oh sorry, Bert, were you saying something?
It differentiates. You know, it's one day it's either me or the other day it's Hank or
me.
It just depends. It's never Brandon. Brandon never messes up. Never.
Oh yeah. Okay. You know when I first got into Phenom, I remember Jesper, you weren't in the band yet. I'm not sure if you guys I think you guys were still a 3-piece. I'm not sure if I saw you as a 2-piece, but I remember seeing you guys when you guys first started out, man. Right. You know what I mean? And it was like I already thought you guys were just such a powerhouse and incredible, but it was such a cherry on top to have Jesper on there. You know what I mean? Because I thought the vocals were top tier, the drumming and the riffs were top tier, and then you guys found this kid, man.
Having him come along and joining us was a blessing, honestly, because it gave our music more, power and more a direction to flow with, and that's what we were missing that, and we finally found him. But the hardest part about having a band even meet up is finding the right bass player, and the right lead guitarist. And it was, like I said, it was a blessing having him in this band, both of those guys. Me and Hank started out, it was just a 2-piece at first, and there's a lot of black metal bands that do that. We weren't really trying to head that direction with our music at all. We were just trying to touch every genre, and having Jesper and Brandon with us is where it's at for us.
Yeah, I know, because I remember the band before Brandon and Jesper, and I feel like the hardest part when you're bringing people in the music into your band is like having everybody buy in to what you want the band to be about. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the hardest part, because like finding musicians is one thing, but then finding people who actually love what you're playing and want to go in that direction is even harder. Was there an acclimation stage with them, or was it just like plug in and go?
Well, at first we didn't have Brandon, and we obviously we didn't have Jesper with us. We had a couple other guys, and it just didn't work out. So here we are now with these two, and it's like it just, I don't know, we just flow together. You know what I mean? And Hank said at one time before we found Jasper, he says it's really going to be hard to find someone who can, you know, keep up with my style of playing, you know. And luckily, luckily here he is. So it's like I said, it's a blessing to have.
Oh yeah. No, I'm super stoked, man, for like everything you guys are accomplishing. I know you guys got a super brutal show coming up with Mazeroth in Portland, which is just gonna be like,
I am excited about that. Really.
I'm ready to see some blood in animal guts.
so I remember you guys calling it, or maybe Hank calling it, like the most brutal show you guys have ever gone on. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and I totally agree with, like, if you're like, because I feel like in smaller scenes we always mix up a ton of different genres, because in the metal community we all just like supporting each other and playing with each other. But when you're in a smaller community, it's impossible to find like a bunch of bands that are a part of the same genre. Like I've seen Mazeroth live. I remember they played Medford Metal Fest last year, and it was and nobody expected their blood, man. I remember I saw like 5 people get their shirt ruined. We were like, what's going on? You know what I mean? So like, are you guys, like, I've seen Phenom absolutely destroy live. Do you guys have like, are you guys kind of mentally have a different mindset when you guys go play that show?
Well, you don't really step out of your comfort zone when you're on stage.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Do you go somewhere beyond the
Mentally, I try to put myself in the shoes of a show goer, maybe a little bit, and just try to be like, what would I want to get into? What would make me just sit there and go, I love this guy. This guy's cool. Like, and that, along with, anytime we play, yeah, sometimes, given I am a taller person, some of the stages are a little harder for me to move around on. But when given the opportunity, I actually, like, really enjoy trying to like have a connection between like people coming and seeing you, and like you getting to see the people that enjoy your music, because in my head they're not like a fan, they're more of like a person who shares like the same kind of thought of like, this is a tight sounding band. This is what I want to hear.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely, man. I know in like my music experience, I always found it like, I don't know why, but I find it more comfortable to play in front of people that don't know me.
Yeah. Anytime someone's like, yo, what do you do? I'm like, well, I don't have a job, but but I'm working on it. But I just do nothing but practice, and I don't know, I just kind of want to give it my all sometimes. It's get into that, like how Hank says it, even though he's not here with us. Rest in peace, Hank. Just kidding. He's up in his castle.
Hank's not dead.
He's not dead. We can confirm he's not dead. But God, I forgot what I was gonna say, man. I spaced it.
Oh, you just went off track?
I just went off track, but
Yeah, because you said you play. Because I asked you, like, I don't know, because I mentioned how much easier sometimes it feels to play in front of random people compared to your friends. And I remember you're talking about how, like, it's cool when like people do. What's up?
Your friends are your worst critics besides yourself, but you alone are your worst critic, but your friend would just tear you down.
Yeah.
But he's doing it in a jokingly way.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's not really hurt.
You want to know the worst compliment your friend can give you?
What's that?
It's when they go, hey, you could do better than I could. And the worst part is, like, you don't even play the guitar, though. Of course I can. What kind of compliment is that?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's the biggest like backhand compliment. Sometimes I'm like, thanks, man. Thanks.
It's like, it's better than I can. I'm just like, what kind of crap is that?
Right. But No, it is. I will agree with you on that. It is easier to play in front of people that you don't know and they don't know you. Like maybe they could have seen you like floating around or something, and they're like, "Oh, I've seen you passing by, but I've never like, you know, seen you." But
I love playing. I love playing out. Of course, everyone does, but I love playing out when there's like new people that don't know anything about the music, and
yeah,
and
newcomers.
they're like, "Wow, that was awesome!" I love that.
But I'll gatekeep good bands from you though.
I like it. I like it. Before we talk about some shows and stuff, I want to get to know you guys a little bit. So I'm gonna ask you guys each a question, and I'm gonna start with Bert. Bert, do you remember a turning point in your life where maybe like somebody handed you an album, or when somebody showed you a band or handed you a guitar, when maybe you were like a kid or a teenager, that really was the turning point in like your musical connection when you were growing up?
Oh, okay. So when I was, I don't know, 5 or 6, of course, there was, you know, that was back in the '70s. So that was like, there was only like Kiss and Black Sabbath, and Rush and Kansas and all that, type of whatever my aunt used to listen to. But later on in life, there were two guys that moved in across the street from us, and they were listening to Venom, and yeah, it was awesome because I remember the guy was like, "Hey man, you want to come in here and listen to this?" And I was like, "Yes." So I walked into the house, and it was blasting the. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was overwhelming and just brutal and fast, and that's what I was looking for. Besides having to listen to what my aunts were listening to on their, vinyl records and their collections of albums and stuff. But luckily, they had Black Sabbath. I cannot remember the name of the album, but it was the one with the orgy scene.
Yeah, I forget which one. Oh, you're good.
Is that what that album is?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So it was that. Yeah. So I was that young. I couldn't, I didn't get it. But it was the cover of that album that kind of attracted me to, the darker side of metal. Well, not saying the darker side of metal, but just metal in general. But I'm not calling Black Sabbath metal. But no, later, like I said, later on in life, these two cats lived across the street from me. They were blasting Venom, and it was awesome. And from then on, I just, I would end up going to like record stores and trying to find magazines on metal in general, because the area that I lived in was kind of like here. It's not fed, musically, and if it is, they're not going to really hold a candle for it, So
Yeah, you know what? I'm extremely I when I talk to artists, especially artists that came out like in the 80s, I always tell them how envious I am of like the time that you grew up, man, because I remember having people tell me that like there'd be flyers and you wouldn't know what the band sounds like or what the band looks like until you actually went to the show. And nowadays you could you could find out what the guy's cooking on Instagram or what he's having that day.
Right. I mean, but like I was getting, it was so hard for me to get a hold of any kind of information. You know what I mean? We only had one record store, and any other grocery store like was just weird because they would have Circus magazine and I can't remember the other ones, but they just had these, and you would go through them, and in the back they would have the T-shirts and like all these albums, and they were so small you could hardly see them. Yeah, the catalog in the back, you could hardly see them, man. But I remember going to the record store and finding, like Artillery and excuse me, yeah, and like old Metallica and old Judas Priest albums in um, just a whole just a whole plethora of metal. It was great, and I spend most of my time at that music store. And And
Oh yeah. You know, I always think about it at work. I'm always like, man, I will never know in my life how great AC/DC was when they came out. I will never know how great Judas Priest was, you know, and then I think about like the songs that my son will never know that came out in my era, and I'm like,
you
what
have
do
to
I
show
have like?
your kids. You know, you
What's
have
up?
to show your kids your music.
Oh yeah,
Most
you know,
definitely.
but then I thought about the music that came out when I was growing up, and I was like, what is it? Who Let the Dogs Out by Baha Men?
No, 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 you don't. No, 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 no. Oh yeah.
No, I'm kidding. All right, Jasper. Uh, Jasper, same question for you, man. Do you
Yeah.
remember like the first album or the first time ever in your life where you had like this spark or turning point in your brain that just made you love and addicted to this style of music?
Ooh,
It doesn't have to be necessarily the style of music of your band, just the first band ever that really, or first song or sound that really just flipped the switch in your brain.
um, not. I was gonna say, hate to sound like that guy, but I was kind of born and raised around it quite a bit. My mom being the main one who was playing all the tasty, nasty, nice stuff. I must say, I grew up with stuff like Cradle of Filth and God, who else? Meshuggah, like old school Ramstein, Typo Negative.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Uh, it wasn't until later because like it was don't get me wrong, like it was a musically diverse house, but like the main genres were just metal, post punk, and like anything that is along like the kind of gothic slash punk lines.
That's go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. And I I remember like the first time I was actually ever able to process it and just be like, oh my God, like this is tingling my ears. What are these vibrations? And I think that was definitely when I because I wouldn't say I took a break from metal. It's just like there was a bunch of other stuff coming out, so I was like, oh, I might as well listen to this. But dude, I think I might have it right here. Boom, Black Curse's Endless Wound. This thing, like after kind of going like, metal's a little dormant right now, that kind of made me just go, holy absolute AC double hockey stick. But no, that was like later on though, but God, I can't even it's hard to choose one when you've just been around it your whole life, you know, like because there's just so many. I'd say definitely. I remember middle school, I rediscovered Slayer, and I really, really got into them. And it was like when they were coming out with World Painted Blood and Repentless and all that good stuff.
I remember. I remember haunting the chapel having that cassette.
Yeah, and
that was mine,
dude. And but my mom bought me Slayer's Rain and Blood on CD, and she got it for my birthday. And I remember I just tore into that like it was a Thanksgiving turkey or something, man. Like it was the end for whoever was in my household because that was getting cranked.
I love it. I love it. All right, dude. I'm gonna shoot you guys some more questions to get to know you guys a little bit. We'll start with Jasper this time, and then we'll go to Bert. Who's in your head your first guitar god ever? Look. You could say you like a bunch of guitar players, right? Everyone can say that, right? It's hard to choose, but you damn well know that there was one guy or one gal. There's one person that you just listen to a little more than others. That maybe kind of you learn some of their riffs, you like some of their scales. There's always that one person. Don't tell me you can't choose. Who's that one guitar person that you kind of looked up to growing up?
5 off the top of my head, but trying to narrow it down to one. Give me a minute.
There's one on top of the mountain, baby. There's one on top of the mountain. Don't lie to yourself.
You know what? I'm gonna say it Jason freaking Becker, dude. I absolutely love Jason Becker. That man has influenced me so much, along with.
I don't even know.
No, but Jason Becker's really like showed me like, yo, you can shred a little bit quicker if you want, man. You don't gotta necessarily stay here. But that and Luke LeMay definitely from Gorguts. That man expanded my mind with Obscura. Like he taught me that guitar just doesn't have to be this like one or two dimensional thing. Like you could just expand upon it infinitely. Like bro was doing some stuff like
Off the wall.
Yeah, off the wall. Like I don't know. Here, but yeah, I'm not plugged in. But like literally for Obscura, after he does like the boom like that, he'll like take his finger and run it up, and then he goes back to this, and then does the the move over again.
Yeah, like the accenting.
Yeah, that the accenting, and seeing him do that live, I understand the expression face melting now because I was sitting there just warping my face the whole time, just going, oh.
I love it. I love it. All right, Bert, same question for you, man.
That's a hard one, man. I'd have to say probably Scott Ian from
Anthrax?
Yeah, well, yeah, Anthrax, and before that SOD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that hard riff, what was it? That riff was just so gripping when I first heard it. I was like, man, this is crazy. And I never knew who it was. Like I said, I didn't really have that that outgo of music everywhere, just at tiny music store, and they didn't really have much.
Oh man,
I saw that on Headbangers Ball, and that was just like, this is awesome. So yeah, I just never knew who it was until like later on in life, until I got older. There's that.
I love
that. I could have mouthed the riff. You know that.
Yeah,
that you did it, and then I was like, why did I grab my guitar? I guess right next to me, but I could have mouthed it.
I like it. All right. Next question. Next question, but I'm gonna start with Bert this time. Bert, what is the type of music that you listen to that is the furthest away from the music you play in Phenom?
Oh man, John Lee Hooker, B.B. King. Like I'll even listen to Blues Brothers. Sometimes
I love the Blues Brothers.
Blues. I like blues. And sometimes I like classical music. But not so much the newer classical. I like the old stuff.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you, dude. I love the old school Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, and I love all that stuff, dude. Like just oh yeah. All right, Jasper.
They really weren't a big inspiration.
Yeah.
It was just something to, kind of step out of the box a little bit, I guess.
Step out of the darkness.
Yeah,
Do you ever just put on that music and put on like a yellow shirt and some blue jeans, Bert?
No. No. You won't find me hula hooping out in the front yard.
All right, Jasper, same question for you, man. What's the style of music, band, or artist that you listen to that's furthest away from the music you play in Phenom?
Ambient.
Ambient?
I really heavily mess with ambient, like Onitrix Point Never, however you pronounce it. Enigma. God, what else? Stuff like Father 2005. That's a really good dude. There's literally an ambient project named after a Toyota Corolla It's literally named Toyota Corolla 2006, or it's vice versa with the 2006 Toyota Corolla, and it's just all these deep, just accenting sounds that it really, it's like a neural activation in my brain.
Is it actually from a car?
No,
Oh.
but if it makes it feel, technically they hook like these diodes or like whatever up to a car, and they like run their synth channel through it, I think, and it's just one of the coolest things.
Would that be considered Daft Punk?
Oh, I don't know. No, I don't think so. No, but not, and definitely stuff like Anna von Housewolf. She does ambient work with like organ, like the ones that you see in the huge, medieval kind of like Renaissance churches, and it's just absolutely beautiful in every way.
Dude, I love it. I love it. All right, dude. I'm gonna ask before we plug in the shows and end the interview, I'm gonna ask you a couple more fun random questions. You guys cool with that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start with Bert on this one, just because you have a Nightmare on Elm Street shirt on right now. So, all right. All right, Bert. If you could choose your death, but it had to be by somebody in a horror movie, who would you choose to do it, and how would they do it?
Oh man.
Oh.
Okay. It would definitely be Freddy Krueger, and it would have to be like, let's see, this is definitely a hard one. He would have to come out of an amplifier somehow and just get me while I'm in the middle of tearing it up.
The strings turn into blades and cut your fingers.
Yeah, that could happen. I'm not really too much. I don't know where to go with that one.
Hey, I like it.
It would definitely involve an amplifier and a guitar for sure, but it would definitely have to be Freddy Krueger.
I like it. All right, Jasper, same question. If you could choose your death, but it had to be by somebody in a horror movie, who would do it, and how would they do it?
I'd have to go with the xenomorphs from Aliens. And they would have to catch me absolutely with, like, not a doubt, my head not on a swivel. Usually I'm pretty, like, vigilant, so they would have to, like, really catch me just, like, being an absolute, like, dunce or something,
Yeah.
Like,
that's me most of the time.
No, but I would definitely say, like, if it were to, I'd want, like, the xenomorph to, like, put its, like, elongated, like, fingers through my ears and just, like, kind of do, like, a double lobotomy on me.
Wow.
And then just, like, stick its little, like, second mouth through my head and make me, like, a new modern art masterpiece.
All right. Yeah, I've never heard that answer before.
Well, I have.
All right. All right, we'll start off with you, Jasper, this time. In a zombie apocalypse, you could choose one weapon to destroy the zombie horde that isn't a nuclear weapon or the cure. What is your one weapon?
Nice. I like how you included this because a lot of people are cheapskates and be like, I just used the cure.
Not too many people say that crap, man. I've done 330 interviews. I've asked this question over 300 times. I know.
Dog eat dog, man. What you choosing? Like, dude, I want that whatever that shotgun / assault rifle that Constantine has, the movie that has Keanu Reeves in it.
Yeah.
That thing is epic. It has like a rope. It's literally a chain or like a drum fed like revolving shotgun that shoots like Greek fire out of it and these giant slugs. Coolest thing ever.
All right, Bert. Zombie apocalypse, one weapon to defend your band. What is that one weapon, man?
Hey, let's see. A massive wood chipper.
All right, I like it. Like it. You'd have to pick the zombies up and throw them in.
That's
Or,
fine.
or how would the wood chipper? Would you be like pushing them through it, or how would that work?
You know, you hook it up to a car and you just run into
I like it.
them.
I like it. I like it. So, to end the interview, you guys got an awesome show that we're plugging in tonight at Johnny B's, June 21st with Artillery, Vapor, Rivet Skull, War Curse, Oddities, my new band, Decades of Agony, man. Super stoked to have you guys on. We actually are gonna start selling tickets on Eventbrite tomorrow. We set up the link tonight, so because we've been getting asked about tickets for a minute, but what for the people out there that have never seen Phenom live before, what can they expect from your show?
A very brutal, intense, verbally historical violence, and hopefully a mosh pit.
Cool. What's up, Jas?
A vulgar awakening. And like Bert over here said, hits. I really like it when people give that energy back that you put out and really like just God, I don't know.
Yeah.
And almost
you get back what you put in.
Yeah, and almost sometimes a little bit of a militaristic stage presence, I'd say.
Yeah,
where I'd say we're very demanding sometimes.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm super stoked, man. You guys, like I said, for everybody listening here on the Metal Mixtape and in Ashland and in Medford and everybody around the world, we are talking to Jesper and Bert from Phenom. You guys' most recent album, History and Death Reborn, right?
Yeah.
Please go check that out. It's absolutely amazing. The Seas is probably my favorite song on that album. I appreciate you guys, or one of them. I mean, I like all your songs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, but please go check them out. Follow them on their social medias. They are playing shows absolutely everywhere in a town near you. Bert, Jesper, I appreciate you guys so much for being here on the Metal Mixtape. And I will be uploading this interview tomorrow night on the YouTube. And everybody, please check it out. I love you guys, man, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah,
Love you too, Omar. Hey.
I think you guys. All right, peace, guys.
Peace.